everybody, welcome to the latest episode of the PKF Podcast. My name is Courtney Charlson. I am the marketing manager with PKF Sydney and Newcastle, and today I'm joined by Jackie Marriott, PKF partner in Business Advisory Services. So Jackie's here today to give us some insights into the business world and what might be some of the challenges that businesses are facing in today's society. So Jackie, can you tell us about some of the big issues that businesses are facing at the moment?
Yeah, so thanks, Court, for having me.
My pleasure.
So what I see in business is there's two major things that are going on right now that are affecting really every business that I talk to. One is HR and the other is debt in business. So going in a bit more detail with these ones, HR. So it's about attracting good staff, retaining good staff, but also with COVID and all the ramifications after that, what we've seen is that it's a whole different world in the HR space at the moment. So businesses have never felt as much pressure to help staff who are struggling or staff who are quietly quitting, as we call, so don't want to be there but don't want to actually leave their job either. So actually navigating that with businesses has been really tricky for them. Like I said, it's a space that has never been as bad as it's been. And I think one recommendation I'd have is actually having a really good HR support network out there for you. So that could be either a third party like Employsure coming in and actually supporting you through this, or it could be even your HR team internally, but getting them some more support with all the changes. So there's been a lot of changes in the law for industrial relations. There's been a lot of domestic violence leave that's been put in, but to be around those rules is really tricky, and making sure that you're supporting the staff that you have in the best way possible. So like I said, having someone who's actually in that space who understands it, it's really imperative to get that right, because if you don't, then there can be lots of ramifications for your business. So the other major change in business at the moment is debt. So through COVID, love that word. A lot of people did take on debt to actually get through some really challenging times, and now people are saddled with all this debt, still in really challenging times, and having to pay down that debt while also not having the best results. That's causing a huge stress on clients, as you can imagine, in their cash flow. So one recommendation I'd have is actually talk to a broker, see if we can get a cheaper debt position for you. But the other, I suppose, major aspect of that is actually paying down your debt and getting a plan in place to get that debt down and actually improve your cash flow position. So businesses took on a lot of different types of debts over COVID and even now. So we've got things like bank debts to get us through our normal trading, but there's also been a lot of ATO debt around. And if anyone has had to deal with the ATO lately, they are not the best. They're getting worse and worse, and they're not listening to business. So a recommendation on if you do have ATO debt is actually coming and talking to our insolvency guys. So our insolvency guys can help with what's called a small business restructure. That's available to small businesses that have less than $1 million of creditors on their books. And what they can actually go and do for you is work out an agreement with your creditors to actually wipe up to 80% of that debt off. I've had two recently that have had really great results, and one was right on the brink of the $1 million mark. And that's meant that they've had nearly $800,000 back into cash flow that they can use to actually trade through a really difficult time for themselves. So absolutely, come have a chat with us and see what we can help you with.
Yeah, wow. Thank you, Jackie. And I think, for some, the idea of seeing or being or engaging someone who is in the insolvency space may seem quite scary. You think of insolvency or as your business is no longer going to be trading, but if you can work out a deal that makes sure that you can succeed, I think that makes things all the better.
Absolutely. I think people hear the word insolvency and panic, but we can actually help you well before you get to that stage. So the main thing is just having someone that you feel like you can come and talk to with any issues, and that's what we're here for, and then we can direct you to the best person to talk to.
Jackie, thank you so much for sharing your insights today on the challenges of business in HR and debt. We really appreciate your time. If you do have any questions that you'd like to get in contact with Jackie about, then please do. And thank you for joining us on another episode of the PKF Podcast.
Thanks, guys.